my choice. Why? Because I'm talking about the Mamluks. Day after tomorrow in Al-Sinari house, inshallah. Why am I not happy talking about the Mamluks? Because I think there are lots of blood in the business. I don't like mentioning this, but in 1967, I didn't like mentioning that we were, I don't like it, I don't like saying it. Until this year, when I heard one of our heroes in 1967 said, if they will let us continue. And that sentence made my eyes wet, and it was like the last sentence he said in the program. It was on the Egyptian TV. And I'm going, what? And a man who's reading history for the last 35 years or so, I'm going, is this sentence rewriting the history of modern Egypt or what? If we would be allowed to continue in 1967, which means that the Egyptian soldiers were ready to continue in 1967 and they were ordered to withdraw. Now, what if they were not ordered to withdraw in 1967? And what if this hero who was talking on Egyptian channel mentioning they could have regained what they lost in 1967?
This, of course, you raised a very important point which we are going to touch on later in the program, which is the leadership and the effect and enforcement of the amazing leadership throughout history. I mean, the Islamic leadership, the Arab leadership over glories in battles. But let's, before we embark into on that, we talk about the most popular battles during the Holy Month. There were very important battles that were mentioned throughout history that really have an essence, and it's beyond strategies, it's beyond militaries, it's beyond all stereotyped frames of knowledge. It's just because there is spirituality and there is faith. If you like to elaborate over this.
If you look at the leadership of that great triumphs, like Badr, for example. We have here Sayyidina Muhammad, peace be unto him, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we see how the leadership, how people would be talking, and he, peace be unto him, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, would be taking all the business of information. I'm going to take what you say. Do you remember in Al-Khandaq, for example? Al-Khandaq is a very sensitive battle. The Muslims are here, and the idea of digging a tunnel around for protection. Now, Salman al-Farisi and how he introduced the idea and how the leadership took the idea, okay, he's from Persia. He is not from the Arab Peninsula. And that did not stop the Prophet ﷺ from taking the advice which led to a great victory afterwards. So I think, one, the faith and the spirituality, and how you are, always remember the ayah in the Quran Kareem which confirms that a small number of people can defeat a big number of people. I think this is an amazing sentence, because if you don't have faith in Quran Kareem, that's the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then how are you going to believe in yourself while you are holding that arrow or that spear or that shield, or if you are using a military strategy of being at the top of a hill or making a small move around the hill to get the enemy from behind, all this military strategy, how can you enter a battle with full positivity that you are 10 people and the enemy is some, I don't know, hundreds of people?
Outnumbering
as an example, outnumbering.
But also to draw the attention to the viewers that we're not only talking about the most popular battles in Ramadan, but other battles.
As a whole.
Other battles. But why was the Holy Month supporting, was considered throughout history, or when we take a flashback in history, we remember that it was just the Holy Month that was mentioned as a supporting element, as an enforcement of spirituality to great leaders, and to leaderships, and to great ideas, to great achievements, to stops in history that changed the world map. Do you think that that is a coincidence? Not mentioning that only the month of Ramadan was mentioned in the Holy Book. by name.
There are
I mean, it was mentioned that there are 12 months and all that, but the only month that was mentioned by name is the month of Ramadan.
Ramadan. Well, of course, Ramadan is a very special month. We all know that. We all know Ramadan is a special month. Ramadan with the fasting. The surprising element, can you consider yourself for a moment a person who lives in somewhere else, right? And you are not a Muslim. And you do not fast. You don't practice the fasting of the Muslims. And then you're opening, I don't know, a newspaper or something, and people who did not drink and eat for 15 hours. And they are so energetic and they are so beaten by the sun, but they don't care. And they are fighting like tigers and lions. And they are winning. And they are defeating bigger numbers, outnumbers, as you mentioned. How would you calculate this in your mind? Because if you make it as 1 + 1 = 2, it's not gonna. You are not going a person who is outside this mood of the Islamic belief, that strength that you get, and stopping things that you want to stop. If you are eating a lot, you don't eat. If you are smoking, you stop smoking. If you are doing any of those wrong things, you stop. I think when a person, I remember a Mexican lady came to me once and said, "How do you feel in this heat?" And I was guiding, I was talking, and I was taking them to the temples, and she goes, "How come? I want to try this." And I said, "Go on. And if you do, you will be prized by eating with us at sunset, and after the azan, when the sunset is here, you are going to eat with us Egyptian, and like you gather with us together all." She goes, yeah, she was excited. And she started fasting until about 1 o'clock. And she came to me and she said, bless her, she said, "I can't, I want to drink. I can do with food, I can do with stopping food, but I'm so thirsty." And I said, "Okay, we'll allow you to drink and continue with us fasting food." And she did. I think that is how people would be looking at you. This is an achievement. I personally feel that 15 days of Ramadan and you achieved that, I think something that, I'll be proud of.
There are great legacies that were taken from that particular month, the holy month. What are they? And how precious are they to the Arabs? Not only to Muslims, I mean to the nations.
See how many years were this, since we are talking since many years now, and in 2018 we are still discussing this legacy. We're still discussing it with pride. We're still discussing it with happiness. I am happy that that in Ramadan achievements like huge battles and triumphs, battles that did not only change history or chapters of history, but it changed maps. It changed you when you are drawing your map, changed that. It changed people who are looking from outside. People will be looking at you and said, "Hold on for a minute, I have to study this. How, you guys are humans, aren't you?" "Yes, we are humans. Like you have a heart and lungs and stomach and stuff. I want to know, how do you do it? How do you continue that? How do you achieve that?" I think the legacy is the power of sustenance. You are the sustenance, how you are giving yourself sustenance, but it's not food sustenance. It's the belief sustenance. It is, if I do that, Allah will be happy with me. And because I believe, if Allah is happy with me, and if I die today, again, as you said, in Ramadan or outside Ramadan, the 12 months in your life, you are going to be a martyr in this battle. And you know how Islam honor martyrs, to the point that Islam is telling you.
But can I get in here, please? Sure. Because the martyrship those days is taken in a very, very wrong way, and that has caused a lot of trouble worldwide. And maybe it's the whole tragedies, our whole modern contemporary tragedies coming from martyrdom and martyrs, and the idea that the wrong people are obsessed with martyrdom, which is totally wrong. I mean, when you could fall as a martyr for a sublime reason, for a very honest reason, for the sake of God and what came in the book, this could be a martyr. Yeah, you could fall as a martyr. But when you fall as a martyr because you kill innocent civilians and you kill women and children, And the unarmed innocent civilians is not, I mean, martyrdom
I'll
at
answer
all.
you with a sentence, and I'm going to interpret it. الحق أبلج والباطل لجلج. Right is obvious. What it means, not the words translation. And the thing which is wrong is hesitant.
Right.
And if you read the book, if you read the Quran Kareem, you will know, for
It's
example,
full of
the martyrdom and what is the if you like, the description of what is a martyr. And how you are telling me somebody who kills a kid, kills a child, the armless woman, without any right. And then you call it that this is, I don't know what, this is the fights.
This is faith, and this is
jihad.
jihad.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give you the honor of you be living. Because do not consider who is martyred to be dead but alive. Yeah, how honorable is this? You can live your life achieving what you want to achieve, and you do not achieve 10% of that sentence.
That's
so, and I got this feeling. I remember after Friday prayers, I was in front of Al-Aqsa. I was inside Al-Aqsa Mosque. And after Friday prayers, there is a mosque inside Al-Aqsa. Everything which inside the wall is Al-Aqsa. Okay? So, the Dome of the Rock, with the beautiful, if you like, golden, coppery, shining coloring that you see, is not a mosque which is outside Al-Aqsa. Dome of the Rock is inside Al-Aqsa. Okay? This is very important for our youth, because in the internet sometimes you put Dome of the Rock and you call it the Dome of the Rock, and people would think Dome of the Rock is a separate mosque than Al-Aqsa. No. And there is Al-Qibli Mosque that you see its dome a little bit darker. That's called Al-Qibli Mosque. All of this is Al-Aqsa. So I went out and I saw the Palestinians throwing stones at the Zionists and so on, and then Zionists started to hit us. Now, I've never been hit by a sound bullet, or I never been hit by, I don't know, a smoke bomb or whatever in my life. And all of a sudden, all this kind of this and that, and people here and there. So you feel how it feels being close to death. This is not easy. So it's not easy. And then now I'm talking to you while you are not eating and you're not drinking in Ramadan. So plus. And we are humans. And life is precious.
Of course.
Life is precious. You can talk whatever you want. But at the end of the day, when people will tell you your life, the person's life will be ended now, we run and we do operations and medicines and we spend money in hospitals because we want to live.
Of course.
So life is very, very precious.
Of course. Every life is precious.
So when you put your life, yes. So when you put your life right there, because you want Sinai to be back, or you want Al-Quds to be back, or you want Palestine to be back, or you want Syria to be back, or you want Iraq to be back, and so on.
This is very precious.
Of course it's very precious.
It's one great sacrifice to be
greatest.
remembered and respected. Another significant legacy that was taken from the glories of that beautiful month, in particular the 10th of Ramadan victory, is the Air Force Museum.